What's going on, everyone? Gilman with Wellthy Stocks back with our daily Apple update video where we take a look at how Apple stock traded today, key levels of support and resistance that we are looking at moving into the future, and based on that, what we think Apple stock could do. So real quick, if you enjoy videos like this, don't forget to hit that like button down below, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and comment down below what your thoughts on Apple are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. Let me go ahead and hit record. I think it'll be a quick one today. I'll take a look at price action. So you guys remember I talked about a couple things yesterday, one of which that we've seen kind of over and over again is the rising bond yields, right? So that happened yesterday. Apple stock fell, I think, over 3% yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. And the other thing that I talked about was quadruple witching, which is a Friday, typically March, June, September, and December. Third Friday of those months where we see a lot of expirations happening. I talked about that yesterday. Feel free to look up quad witching, but pretty much what that means is there's a lot of money on the line and big money can take markets where they want it to go, and that's why we see high jumps. So we'll talk about that for just a little bit too. I've made some other videos this week as well talking about kind of the impact that Apple's increase in sales specifically in the wearable space, right? So I covered that earlier this week as well. So we had a lot of kind of things up and down that happened this week. That day we also talked about the upgrade in price target. I'll talk about that more over the weekend in my weekly Apple update video as well, but wanted to kind of quickly mention all of that. Now let's take a look at the price action as we always do, see future levels of support and resistance, and then where we think Apple could go. So right out of the gate, wasn't looking too great. We had a little bit of a gap up from the 120.50s to the 121s. Try to break above this 121.48. That wasn't going to happen clearly in the pre-market, and so right out of the gate when we pushed up, we pushed all the way up to 121.43. Our level was 121.48, so we're watching that, right? Didn't make it, bounce off VWAP, push up, and then we came back down, and then it got a little boring there for a little bit, and then we pushed up all the way to 121s, and then a slow giving it away. And this right here, my friends, is quadruple witching. I can point out so many different scenarios where random things you can point to that happen in the last like 20 30 minutes, last hour, and so that's what we see happening on quad witching, because again, if big money has certain contracts, they need the price to be at a certain level. That's what will happen. So you take Apple here, right? Take a look at this crazy candle. How many times do you see candles like this on Apple? A 1 minute candle going from 120.20 to 120.97, and then in the next couple minutes we came right back down. Things like that. So Apple was not great. Again, we're down about 54 cents on the day. There were moments when we were green, moments when we were red, ultimately ended the day red, and also slightly below the 120 level, which I don't like. But it's pretty much at the 120 level, so hopefully it's not too crazy there. But you take a look at, I want to give you some other examples of other quad witching craziness that I saw. Take a look at Amazon here, right? Yeah, it was pushing up, but in the last, I don't know, like 10 minutes of the market, 1550 to 3 Central, where I am. You'll see it going from kind of the 3056 to 3077. You take a look at UNH, right? United Health. You take a look at how it traded, and again, take a look at that, right? All of this, it was on a steady kind of grind up from the 364, got all the way to 370, boom, end of day, give it back. That's quad witching, you guys. That's what I was telling you guys about. If you're day trading on quad witching days, put that on your calendar. Just be aware of that, right? Be aware of kind of the sudden movements. I know people like to downplay it, but you explain to me why this dropped, why Amazon popped, why Apple had that crazy pop. It's quad witching. Big money is not going to let us win. That's just going to be what it is sometimes, and that's okay to deal with, right? Take a look at that, like 5-second push on Tesla. Anyway, enough with that. Let's take a look at Apple, get back to the daily charts here, and we'll see what we see. So we have now officially, closed, lower than we kind of started this week. So not great news. There were 2 days there that looked really good for Apple. I think I told you guys a couple days ago I sold a covered call 127.50, and then the next day went to kind of the 127.22s. That's the high of Tuesday, and I was like, maybe my call is going to get breached, but it didn't, and now we're back at 119.99. So let's take a look at future levels of support, future levels of resistance. So first things first, we got this level down here, you guys, at 119.09. If we keep going down on Monday, 119.09 is the first level that I'm watching. Then we got the 116.20, and then on the upside we got the 121.48, the level that we try to visit today. Couldn't break over. Next level is 123.69, and then after that is 126.65. What I want Apple to do next week, again, I've said this over and over again, is this 89 EMA. We got above it, but we could not sustain it. So what I'm hoping for is that we get above it, we can sustain it. So, you know, maybe earlier on in the week, get above the 8 EMA 122s, and then we get above the 21 EMA 123.88, and then the 89 EMA 124.89. So baby steps next week. Again, capture 122, capture 120, high 123.80s, capture 124.80s. That's my goal for Apple next week. That puts us above all the exponential moving averages. We can, you know, start to establish that base and start to push up. So hopefully Apple can get in the mid 120s next week, like it did this week, except hopefully the yield stuff is like not as big of a concern, and hopefully we actually see a push up. That's really all I had for you guys today. Nothing too crazy. I'll make the weekly Apple update video over the weekend, talk about some more things we saw this past week, things that we can look out for. So be on the lookout for that. Subscribe to my channel, comment down below what your thoughts on Apple are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day, and until next time.